podcast, Royale. We got a dog barking in the background. It's a great show today. Great start. How's everyone doing?
I'm all right, man.
Well, playing, shit like that. So let's start with what we've been playing. What have we been playing? Let's start with you, Wrecked.
I mean, if you count like the last game I played the most of recently was No Man's Sky. Like I haven't played in a couple days for certain reasons that you know of, but
Yeah.
other than that, I've kind of ever since that new update, it's kind of like taken over for me.
Well, I think we need to point out that probably a big percentage of why last week's podcast didn't go down is because Kelly was so wrapped up in No Man's Sky he couldn't find time for it.
Yeah.
Was
He
wrapped
still
up?
Is this not the case?
Dude,
Is this not why we missed last week?
Dude, no bullshit. He comes home from work, man, and as soon as he gets home, he's on that fucking game, bro. Like, as soon as he gets home.
When I'm at work, I could just, it's like a tick in the back of my head. I just want to go home and play No Man's Sky.
Yeah, the thing about it, man, is like since that new update, it's what the game, what I was hoping what I thought the game was going to be when it first came out. Now it's where I thought it was going to be. But what's fun is, I mean, I like exploration games where you just go and explore and do things and build shit. And this game is just literally infinite. Like, so you could build.
I did. You guys did convince me to watch the trailers, and so I did go through and watch all the trailers, and it does seem interesting. It's something I'm going to look into. It's just like on a list that's long.
You know, you explore, you build, you go to a different solar system, you find new planets, you discover the animals and the plant life and materials.
Now, I do have a question. Are the animals always different?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Is there something unique about every animal? Can you never get the same animal on the same planet?
Pretty much. None of them are going to be exactly the same.
Yeah. Everything.
But are there there's like 50 different models and then different color variations and stuff like that of it?
If I'm not mistaken,
like you have the same rhinoceros. It's just 50 different colors on 50 different planets, or are there like?
It's way more varied than that, though. Like the rhinoceros might have a different tusk, a different size head. Like he might like fly with little wings on his back. He might have really long ass legs. Like they're just like all these variables.
Isn't everything like when you hyperdrive to a new system, everything is randomly generated, even the planets?
No, it's not random, but like everything is already as it is before you even go there. So like when you go to a star system, that's going to be what it is each and every time. Even if no one goes there, it's going to be what it is.
But it was generated randomly.
Procedurally, not randomly.
Oh, okay.
Random would mean like there's a possibility of an all-white system or an all-pink system or just like some really ugly. Like there's no. But
I feel like you would want that. You know, somebody want to find that one in a million all white something, because random for it to be all one thing would be pretty nuts. You know.
Well, with procedural generation, you have more control over just certain parameters.
I understand. I get it. I know what you're saying.
Yeah,
I like how I like how like the what I really like is the economy, and each system can be different, but they're all connected to one big economy.
Yeah.
And then you go to certain galaxies that are undiscovered that no one's ever been to, and then you go to some that are abandoned and shit, and like there's a space station but there's nobody in it, and it's pretty nuts.
It's taken a huge chunk of my life away from me. I'll never get it back. It continues to. Yeah, like if you I was gonna say, if you're looking for like an objective-based game with like the game telling you what to do, then don't buy this game. This game's not for you. This game is pretty grindy. You grind in order to grind at times. As long as you're having fun doing it with your friends and shit, man. It's really chill, relaxing.
Yeah, it's only up to 4 people playing. You only 4 people on there playing together.
But you can still run into people.
Yeah. But you can party up with 4 friends and y'all can use each other's shit and whatnot.
Okay. Well, that sounds interesting. I'm definitely going to look into it. It might be, 2019 before I actually get it installed, but it's definitely going on the list of things to do. It does sound. I did watch the trailers, like I said, and it does look really fun. But
well,
it's like there's a lot going on right now and a lot coming up.
Oh yeah.
Well, the other day, me and my friend that I play with were in a. He joined me, and I was like, then went through. I done made it really, really far away because I hyperdrived like a billion times, and I come across this planet, and we were messing around, and we found a player's base in there.
Really?
And yeah, we found a player's base and ended up stealing $2 million.
I haven't found one yet.
Yeah, they're hard to find because it's just when you go to that galaxy map, man, and you see like literally those thousands and thousands of infinite stars, and you could just travel to one, and that's a damn solar system right there. That's just like what? Never gonna end.
You'll never run out of shit to explore. Like, granted, a lot of planets are going to be very similar to each other, but man, if you like exploring and just like the feeling of being a whatever kind of space explorer you want to be, then it's just a blast.
Yeah, because I mean, you fight. I mean, you got like of course, you got like the pirates that you can fight, the sentinels. Mm-hmm. You can kill animals if you want.
You can be a pirate, attack the freighters that are in the system.
Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of all up to how you want to do it.
So, what have you been playing, Chief?
I have been playing GTA 5. I know that's weird, probably because it's been out for so long, but this is the first time I've ever played it on PS4. I'd played it on PS3.
Really?
Yeah, I'd played it on PS3 before, and I'd beaten the story mode, but I didn't realize how comprehensive and in-depth the online mode was. When I had last encountered the online mode, it was just like a death match, and that was it. There wasn't really anything to do other than run around an empty city and kill other people. You couldn't really cooperate. You couldn't really do a whole lot of stuff when I first encountered the online version of GTA 5.
Not anymore.
And I didn't. I just kind of let it go, and I didn't realize that it was so expensive now.
Yeah, because I mean, it's like every update they add something new for free.
Yeah, and I went ahead and I didn't just download the game. I went ahead and got the business shark, or the
shark cards,
the business starter pack or whatever. I can't remember what it's called. Enterprise, something like that. But Criminal Enterprise, that's what it was. And I went ahead and got that, and it came with like $1 million and a free bunker and a free office and a free motorcycle club and like 10 free cars and guns and everything else. So I got a decent starting point.
Decent money.
Well, no, they did it so I'd have to play it because they wouldn't even let me get the shit till I got to like level 5. And I got to get to level 5, and then I got to wait for a fucking phone call. I had to ride around in my car for 3 hours just waiting on a phone call from some random NPC. I'm like, shit, I could have had this shit and went to bed already. You guys are keeping me up. But
I'm gonna tell you what, the heist missions is. I mean, they pay some. They have a bunch of different types of heist missions, like they did in the story mode. But some of them fucking things are hard, man. Like if you have one teammate slacking, if we have one teammate slacking, like there's
one guy gets killed twice, it's over.
Yeah,
you got one loser in the group, and everybody's like, fuck this guy, I'm out of here.
I believe the very first one they let you do is the only 2-player one. The rest are 4.
Yeah. And you got to rely on these other guys, and they can be complete assholes unless you got a group of friends who are all good at GTA, which, I mean, I'm sure plenty of people have this benefit. They've got a lot of people who play it, but the people that I know already have people they play with, or they're playing other stuff and have moved on. And the people that are still playing GTA, well, it's like they haven't moved on yet. They're still playing GTA.
99% of the heists that I actually completed in this online mode was with randoms. I just got in there and
it's the retry. You just keep retrying and retrying, and like the one that sucks enough just finally leaves, and somebody good comes in. But I mean, it's a lot of time, and the payoff's not really worth it if you have to retry even once. So I'm trying to figure out the way to make the best money. I think it's through doing the resupply missions and stuff like that.
Well, you got the bunker resupply missions, and then if you own like a storage front and
a warehouse. I just bought the warehouse, and I'm doing the warehouse thing now too.
Once you get the warehouse one, and don't do the car one where you steal exotic cars. Do the other one, and once you it doesn't cost very much to start the mission, and once you fill it all the way up and you sell it all at one time, you make a pretty good chunk of change.
Yeah, and that's what I'm doing.
Easy as shit to do.
It's pretty easy. It's not the bunker stuff's kind of hard because the one bunker they give you for free is way up at the top of the map. So it's like 6 miles. So you have to drive like 6 miles to wherever the objective is, and then you have to kill a bunch of people and protect the shit, and then make it all the way back. And it's like, fuck you. So the other part's easier. I'm trying to figure out what the best part. They say the heist is the best. One of the really good things, but you've got to have a good crew.
Yeah, those are fun. They're not the best payouts, but they're fun. Aside from the the stupid duplication cheating glitch that everybody thinks they got to do because they need all the money. There's
you need all the money.
Well, there's tricks you can do. Is once you own the nightclub, the new nightclub or whatever, there's a way to make a lot of money on.
Don't go getting our channel banned. Don't go telling hacks and stuff on here. You're gonna get us kicked off the internet, man.
Oh shit! The people who post the stuff don't even get kicked off the internet. What
I know. I know. I'm messing with you. But yeah, GTA has been trying to take up a significant portion. I've been playing Horizon Zero Dawn, probably like an hour per day off. But it's really hard to get into now that I'm having to grind GTA to get a little bit higher so that I feel like I can play with my friends because they're so further advanced. And I feel like I haven't played in so long that I need to get better.
It's funny speaking about Grand Theft Auto because as soon as I woke up this morning and I was checking on Facebook or whatever, I just seen IGN post that Grand Theft Auto 5 has made more money than any movie ever. It's made like
it's made more than it's the most money making entertainment property in the world. That's movies, that's television, that's everything. That's Monday night. It's beating Monday Night Football, stuff like that.
Yeah, it did
$1
billion in 24 hours. It sold over $1 billion.
The only thing on track to topple it is Fortnite. Fortnite's on track to topple everything GTA's done.
I don't think they. I don't think they ever will, especially if GTA.
They've already beat. They're already higher in the profits. They've already toppled the profit margin. So if they consistently can top that, it's a matter of days.
That's the new thing. Eventually, people will get tired of it.
I don't know. They said that with Pokemon Go, and now there's people still playing it. They're putting out $1 million TV advertisements. They're still in there. They're not at the top of it like they were, but they're still in there.
Not even close.
But they're still pulling profits, big profits, making a lot of people a lot of money. So the other game that I've been playing, besides Horizon Zero Dawn and GTA 5, is Sid Meier's Alpha Centauri, a little throwback.
God, dude!
I didn't know why I felt the urge. I just went and downloaded it again.
I do that.
I'd paid for it before. I'd paid for it once before from GOG Games, which is like the worst spyware game. They put spyware on your computer just so you can download a game that you pay for. So I downloaded the game, then uninstalled the GOG Games thing because it only costs like $4 to buy the game.
Yeah, and
then you can uninstall their spyware and whatnot. But I get the game and I can just dive right back into it. It's so much fun. It's a real-time strategy game that you're on another planet with all these other factions. And the beauty of it is it was completely hackable. you could go in and create your own faction with just a text file. Nothing more than a text file. You open up a text file, you change some parameters, and you can make the most badass team in the whole world, or you can make something completely unique. And it's so fun and expansive that no playthrough is the same. Sid Meier is a fucking legend. You know, Civilization, Alpha Centauri. But Alpha Centauri is probably my favorite Sid Meier game of all time. It's so fun.
I always really liked Civilization. I loved Alpha Centauri, but my favorite, I don't know why, and you would think they'd make a new one by now, but I always was a really big fan of Age of Empires.
Oh, I love Age of Empires. I don't know why, but the funnest thing about Age of Empires is building a giant wall around your whole civilization and then watching everyone else try to come in. And it's just a wall around the whole game. The point of the entire game of Age of Empires is build a wall around your entire island and then try to take other islands and build walls around them.
Yeah, go to war with everybody, watching.
It's basically build a wall around yourself and then kill everyone else. It's beautiful. I love Age of Empires. That was my introduction into real-time strategy, other than an old Dune game that I played on like PS1 that was kind of fun.
I tell you, it's weird, man, because I've played it a few times now. I got a game from the original creators of Fallout, the people who came up with the game, called Wasteland 2, and it's a lot like it's in a wasteland environment, but it plays a lot like it's got that turn-based thing like XCOM does, but it's a lot of it feels like an old school like computer game and shit, but it's actually pretty damn good. You should look that up, man. That's like I said, it's the guys who originally thought about who created the first couple Fallouts.
Yeah,
because it has a Fallout feel to it when you play it. Like you can see, because it's like it plays a lot like the original Fallouts did.
So what was it called?
But more advanced. Wasteland 2.
Okay,
they made both of them, but I got the second one. So
Wasteland was the predecessor to Fallout, wasn't it?
I think so.
Yeah, it came before Fallout. It was like that studio's first RTS or something.
Yeah, I have it on my PS4 and I play it every now and again. And like I also play they have you don't have SimCity or nothing like that. A good version of that on the console. They have that stupid free game that's just like a mobile game where you have to wait for fucking your shit to recharge before you
can play. Yeah, I played a million of those games and they all fucking suck because it's so much of a waiting. Hurry up and wait.
Yeah, the one game that
let me buy the game. Let me buy the fucking game.
The one game that's just like SimCity, just not as like in depth as SimCity, because SimCity has been going on forever, is Tropico. You start off. Like I have that, and I play that every now and again because I just like building my shit. You start off, you're on an island. You can randomly generate one or pick one, and you're part of like the Cuban. You're like Cubans basically, and you can secede from the deal and start your own country and like get embassies and build newsstands and TV stations and rockets and and fucking go to war with other people and shit. It's pretty dope, man.
I've just been informed. I need to let everybody know about the new shotgun and sniper rifle coming to Fortnite. There's a new sniper rifle, actually, that's going to allow people to shoot through one layer of wall. I don't know if there's going to be game. This is probably one of those things that, like, the first homing rockets, they realized pretty quickly it was overpowered. To be able to shoot people through their fort is going to be kind of OP unless they make the weapon really, really hard to find. The new shotgun is a legendary double barrel, so we'll see how that goes. Probably going to be a one-hit killer if you get a headshot, even with full shields and all that stuff. Probably somebody with the one shot. Always. but
Yeah.
they're still OP stuff. Like the initial homing rockets were pretty OP because they did a lot of damage, and you could just sit there and hide and like win the game.
Yeah,
So I
that's
can.
very hard to mitigate though as a player. But as a player, it's easy to mitigate a sniper piercing. I mean, a wall piercing sniper round. You can just double layer it. You can do all kinds of shit.
Yeah, my biggest
Um,
problem right now with Fortnite is they've had a problem with one of their challenges for this week, and they have the Ring of Fire. You drive
hmm
the ATK cart or the shopping cart through it, and you complete the challenges. However, something happened. There was a glitch or a bug, and they've disabled it. The shopping carts
Oh
and the
damn.
ATKs. You can't use the shopping cart or ATK, and it's part of the challenges. So the big problem here is some people might be 200 V-Bucks away from the skin they want to buy. And they could get there if they finished that challenge. Because that would give them to further their battle pass so that they could get to an unlock where they give you V-Bucks.
Yeah.
So my problem here is that there's a lot of people who may not be able to get the skin they want and have been
A lot
saving
of
up
pissed off 10-year-olds.
maybe saving up 6 months for a little kid, saving up 6 months to buy this skin, and now they can't because they can't complete this one challenge that is stopping up their progress. And maybe they have a limited schedule like myself. They can only play Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday they can't play. So they're kind of left out, and they have to save and be strategic about how they use their V-Bucks and stuff like that. And I do. I have to be very strategic about how I spend and when I spend. Like, I know my payday is coming up. I can put some money in here and then hope that I'll still have it left when a good skin comes out. But I can't just throw money in there anytime there's a new skin. So another way you can mitigate that is if you have the battle pass, you know that there's certain goals you can achieve that give you 100 V-Bucks here, 100 V-Bucks there, and they can, make it a little easier for you to get that little bit. And if you can't reach that because of something the game has created, there's a problem within the game. You can't complete that week's challenges. You can't progress further because of something they didn't realize and they didn't foresee. I do feel like they should come back and reward the players for their mistake. You do see this a lot with a lot of hopefully they'll give like a V-Buck reward or something like that. And I think that's what's gonna happen. But if it doesn't, I'm gonna start chalking Fortnite up to leaning a little bit more towards the greed model than the player model.
I feel like they're gonna add it to the next week's challenge. Just prolong it for another week.
I hope so, because there's got to be something, and that one seemed like not even an easy challenge to do. It seems like something that you have to put a lot of work into.
Yeah.
Like that challenge with they had a few weeks ago with the clay pigeons. That thing was ridiculously hard unless you had somebody pulling for you and all that. If you're pulling for yourself, it wasn't that easy. You could do like a few little tricks, and there were some, little things to get you through it, but if you were just trying to do it yourself, you had to land by yourself and just sit there and concentrate on this one little machine throwing clay pigeons out, not worrying about anything else going on in the game. You're trying to do something completely
while trying not
counteractive to the goal of the game.
Yeah.
This is counterintuitive. You're not supposed to be just concentrating on some mini game when you could be getting shot in the back of the head right now. Like, you're sitting here pulling clay pigeons like, up. Shit, I missed. Shoot it again. Up. Shit. It's fucking duck hunt when there's a guy fucking sniping for you somewhere. There's 99 other people trying to kill you right now, and you're fucking playing duck hunt.
God, I'm glad I don't play that shit anymore.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's still fun to a degree, but those are the games I'm playing.
Just, I don't know, man. It's shooters in general, I just get bored of now. It doesn't matter what it is. Call of Duty, Battlefield, that, any shooter. It's just like after I play it I'll have fun with it for a while. And I'm just like, okay, let's get on and face another fucking random ass set of people that don't give a shit if I win or not.
Jesus Christ!
Well, I found ways to make it fun. I found little tricks to keep it interesting, even when they wouldn't. Like, my biggest problem with Fortnite was when I run out of challenges, I didn't care. There was no reason to play. I don't care about racking up wins because there's people already with 100,000 wins, and I'll never be able to reach that
people
level.
With no life, basically.
So my only way is to make it interesting for myself. So I have my skins, and like I assigned each skin their own town. Like I'd be like, well, Tomato Head guys from Tomato Town. So and I put my skins on random. So I get a random skin every time it pops up. So if I get Tomato Head guy, I go to Tomato Town. Doesn't matter where the bus is going. You know, just randomly go wherever.
Yeah.
And you've got to keep it interesting to keep the games fun. And that's my problem with some other games, that I can't just make something up and go. You know, that's the beauty of games like Skyrim and Fallout, and my argument that I was having with you guys about Horizon Zero Dawn is that I can't just make up my own story, run out there and go do whatever the fuck I want. There's always this prevailing, you know, looming shadow of a backstory. But in like games like Fortnite and even Skyrim and Fallout, I can just create the narrative. You know, I can say whatever my character is in Fortnite when I have my skin on random, that's going to determine where I land. So if I'm the Chinese dog thing, I can't remember what it's called, but I land at Lucky Tavern because it's Chinese themed. And I try to...
But the problem,
I base, you know,
The problem with that argument, though, is regardless of where you land and stuff, the outcome is still the same. You're still having to do the exact same.
It's not. It's not when you completely randomize it. When you say my suit determines where I land.
When you randomly get a suit, you're just like, okay, well, I'm going to land here. Well, then when you land there,
sometimes
you still
that forces you to drop at the very far end of the map, and you drop, and nobody else drops with you, so you get all the loot, and you just run, and then by the end of the thing, you fought nobody. Exactly. So it completely randomizes your experience. You could be the guy that drops straight into Tilted and dies instantly, or survives and gets all the stuff and gets a win. Or you could be the guy who drops on the outskirts. You could be the guy who drops in the middle. You never know, because you don't pick your landing spot determine where you want to land. You pick your landing spot determined on what you're wearing. And it forces you into a role you may not be comfortable with.
That's kind of the same thing. I mean, that's kind of the same thing that all shooters game have in common, regardless of where where it is. Like Call of Duty, every match is not going to be the same. You might whoop a team's ass.
Yeah, but you don't approach each game differently. You don't in Call of Duty. You don't go into this game saying I'm going to play with this style, because where you land in Fortnite determines how you play.
That's the whole point of Battlefield, though.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it forces you into it's something fun that I've done for myself, and it's just to keep things interesting. It's not necessarily something I say you have to do. It's something that I'm doing to make Fortnite relevant to me, to make it still enjoyable for me. Because when I run out of the challenges, I'm like, why am I even playing this? Because I don't care about the wins. Like, I could literally care less if I win any game ever in Fortnite. I just want to play and have fun. I don't care about the wins. I really, really don't. I just want to enjoy that. And if I enjoy the experience, and I create a reason to enjoy the experience, so I make Fortnite into a game in of itself. I'm not even playing Fortnite. I'm playing my own game that I made. I'm playing my game of, like, this guy lands here depending on what he's wearing whenever. So it's still interesting to me. Yeah, exactly. It's cheat night.
That's pretty cool. Cool kind of meta.
glad it works for you, but that wouldn't work for me because regardless of where I land and what I'm working, I know one thing the two things I'm gonna have to do: find a fucking gun and get some damn material so I can build. And then I gotta chase the damn circle, which I fucking hate. Oh my god, I hate chasing that damn circle, especially when you land and you're like, okay, the circle's gonna pop up close, somewhat close where it won't take long, and then it pops up on the other side of the map. You're like, well, this whole game's gonna be fucking shit because it's gonna be nothing but me running. I'm not gonna be able to do nothing.
But you can still. Well, now there's actually a lot of different things that mitigate that. The first thing was the ATK carts because you could definitely outrun the circle if you had a golf cart. And there's also the rifts. Now there's rifts.
Yeah, but
all over the map
to
let you. Though. Who knows? Maybe it'll be permanent.
Yeah, it's not. It's gonna be for this season. When this season ends, they'll
probably
take that away.
But it's really it's a really fun aspect of this season.
I mean, I played it with like the new add-ons and things like that, and I had fun for a few like the 4 or 5 matches that I played because I was playing with my friends, of course. And what made it fun is the shit that we were talking about. Wasn't really actually playing the game, but and the fuck about it is I got on there and we fucking won like 3 or 4 in a row. Not even trying. I was just fucking around. I got on there it got to the point like even with like Call of Duty used to be when back in the day, fucking I'd played it so much I would get to where I would just do stupid random shit to see if I can get a kill, and I would get I'd get the kill, and then I'd start getting good at it, and I'm like, well, I gotta think of something else to come up with. When I think of something else to come up with, I'd get good at it. I was like, well, fuck, I'm done playing.
You're creating your own meta.
Yeah, basically, like on Black Ops 2, it was
just like what Chief's doing.
Well, on Black Ops 2, it went from I found the guns that I liked and got good at the game, and then I went from that to using nothing but a pistol, the burst pistol. I had no other weapons but that one fucking pistol. I wreck a whole team with that pistol, and it's all I played was search and destroy. But
most people, I think, find their own way to excel or succeed at games, and that is, technically their own meta. It's their own narrative. It's a forced narrative of how you want to play the game. And I think a lot of games that force you into playing with a particular style set aren't really succeeding in giving you always want to be able to play with different outcomes. And that's one thing I do appreciate about the new game, Horizon Zero Dawn, is they do give you multiple ways to play. You can melee, you can hide, you can use multiple
traps and shit.
Yeah, you can figure out how you want to play it. And it's definitely an up to you type of game. You have multiple paths you can take. But at the same time, I want to go even further into that, where you can diverge into so many different paths that no playthrough is the same. And there are a lot of games that are like that. And like that's why I prefer the Fallout and the Skyrim narrative, is because no matter what you do, you can always make it your own. Yeah. You don't have to take that singular story that you're forced upon, that singular narrative, and make that what it is. Because I can't take, well, maybe I could take just take a different approach to Horizon Zero Dawn, and maybe approach it like, say, I'm only going to do this one type of action, or I'm going to play through it. And I mean, I guess people have been doing that for years, playing a game in one type of mode, or only, playing in God mode or whatever. So I guess that's always been a defining characteristic of video gamers, is making it appeal to their standards, and not necessarily just a video game about whatever it is about, but making it their own and taking it and creating something that's unique and whole.
Yeah. I get what you're saying.
It's all about the choice, because it's I absolutely love single player games when the story is good. Of course, it's got to have a good story, otherwise, or a lot to do. I gotta connect to the character, whether it's already made or I can create my own. If I can create my own, you automatically have a connection because you create it. It's you basically, 99% of the time you create your fucking self.
It's all about what you're looking for in that game, basically.
Yeah, like if I don't connect with the character, I mean, the story might be good, but the character is to me not a character that I liked, and it numbs it a little bit for me. Like I don't feel for that character. I don't have no connection to him, so I don't give a shit if whatever.
Yeah, that was probably the old God of War games.
With the see, I love the old God of War because I understood what they were going for. He didn't have to have the emotion that everybody complained about. He was pissed the fuck off, and that was the point. Like that was what made it what it was.
Just that he was pissed off. He was just one dimensional. He didn't have any other sides to him.
He was pissed off, and he was an asshole. And the whole game was about getting vengeance, and that was the whole point. And that made sense that he was angry and wanted to kill them all because he wanted. So was
Metal Gear Solid 5, although that's not really a good example, I guess.
Well, Metal Gear Solid 5 is that threw me off fucking for a loop at the end of it. When you find out who he really is and shit, and then it made sense. But yeah, with Metal Gear Solid, the story in that game is fucking deep as shit. With all the games connected, like the whole outcome of it. But
yeah, but the character's interesting enough to keep tagging along.
Plus, it's Snake, and Snake's a fucking badass. The weird thing was, though, is like with multiplayer games, from 99% of the time, it's not necessarily playing with my friends online. It's more of I have more fun just getting on and chatting with my friends. I'd rather chat than play a lot of times. Like they'll all be playing Fortnite. I'll be playing something else, but I'm in the chat party just talking shit with them because I don't want to fucking play Fortnite or anything else that they're playing.
Where I'm still there in the party and they're playing Fortnite and they'll be like, "Oh, what happened to Steve?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm still here. I'm just listening."
Yeah, I just don't want to play. I just don't want to play that shit.
Yeah.
I have more fun. I have more fun with that. Like multiplayer games are fun and all, but it's like I want more.
That's the beauty of Fortnite is that I don't play Fortnite unless I can play with my friends. And like when it got to the point for a while, when it got to the point where it was like I would jump in Fortnite, and if I wouldn't get an invite from a friend, I wouldn't play.
Same here.
It got to where I almost quit Fortnite because I felt like I wasn't getting the invites because I wasn't good. And obviously, I'm the biggest supporter of I'm the worst Fortnite player ever. I still fucking suck. As many hours I have, like
you could do
100 hours in Fortnite, and I still fucking suck.
You could do what these stupid parents are doing with these kids and fucking
hire coaches. That was going to be one. You stole my article, bitch. That was my internet article. I was like, people are hiring Fortnite coaches right now.
Let's jump into the fucking news. Okay, let's read the article. What about it? I only read the headline, so what's actually going on with this thing?
Oh, you want me to tell you what's going on?
Okay.
I can probably pull it up.
Yeah. From what I read, each article is probably a little different than the other ones, but it's probably the overall consensus. From what I read, parents are hiring these people because apparently the game makes their kids more sociable and like all this shit. It's a fucking video game, yo.
You can't fit in right now in society if you're bad at Fortnite.
Yeah.
I thought it was sad.
Wait, but here's the caveat.
In school.
Wait, kids. If you're bad at Fortnite, be funny at Fortnite.
Exactly.
You don't have to be good at Fortnite. You just have to be fun at Fortnite. So kids, you don't have to be the best. You don't have to, get 1 billion views. You just have to be fun to play with, and people will enjoy your company even more. And, fuck being the best. Be the funnest.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the problem with these fucking kids is they watch these goddamn stupid, annoying ass streamers that play these video games who make way too fucking much money, and they're all, they want to be the next one of them.
Yeah, those are getting to be people who kids aspire to be, and that's not a good thing.
Yeah, exactly. Like, instead of making these kids more sociable on a video game with people they probably never met in their lives, teach them how to do that shit in fucking school so they can have some friends and go out and play. Like, god damn.
Exactly. You know, when me and Sean lost at a video game, when we lost, we went outside.
We were like,
we literally, we put shit together with Legos and went outside and played Resident Evil, and we couldn't beat Resident Evil.
Yeah, we would actually make up like our own, like, especially on like a foggy day, we'd play like Silent Hill, or we would make up our own stories and go out and fucking play and shit.
Yeah, I mean, there's something that has to be said for good old school actual play. Just really playing and making things your own. Like, I remember as a kid, you made things. You were in a cardboard box, and that was a ship, and that was a boat, or whatever you wanted it to be. It was a shuttle. It could be whatever. But
when you think about
the thing, I think video games are taking away from us.
Yeah, and when you look back at those times that you had with your friends outside playing games like that or whatnot, you really, really dive into like the feeling you had when you played that shit. You had so much more fun than sitting in the fucking room playing on a video game.
Oh yeah, dude. The box that you're talking about, that was the back of my house for me in the woods. Shit was lit. Shit was lit as fuck.
It's so much fun, man. There was times where you remember Sheep, when I lived over by the VFW right across the street and shit.
Oh yeah.
Those had all those kids in that neighborhood. There was one weekend I remember. It was one of the funnest fucking weekends I had, man. 2 days of nonstop of like hide and seek tag type thing. There was like fucking 30 kids, and they had this big like group of wooded area and stuff, and we were just playing like hide and seek in the entire fucking neighborhood. Man, it was so much fun.
Kids in my neighborhood were pricks.
Yeah, see, our neighborhood was everybody. It seems like every fucking house in our neighborhood had kids. And they were somewhat older people, and they didn't, and it was boxed in. There was only like 2 ways into that neighborhood. There was only 2 roads that you can go down to get inside of it. And so the only people that were there were the people that lived there. There was never any cops fucking with you. Like, so, that's another problem with the kids not, going out and do things, because cops don't know how to quit fucking with people and taking everything fun away. There's a lot of that especially for teenagers. But yeah, man, we would go out and just do shit. It didn't matter what we did. We even if it was just riding our bikes around town, that was more, you know what I mean? You had so much fun when you had a group of friends just riding their bike around town.
Oh yeah, dude, that's the best memories. Just that.
Yeah. The shit y'all come up with, the shit y'all would go into explore and do, and man, you can't beat that with anything.
The moral of the story: fuck video games. Stop playing them.
No, you can keep playing them, but take your ass outside every now and again and go play.
No, don't. Stop playing your games. Go sell your PlayStation. Go to college. Do something with your fucking life. What we got pulled up there? Is it the article?
Oh yeah, finally got it. Took a while. And then I just pulled up like my computer file, so that's great to broadcast over the internet.
I thought that article that we're talking about, I thought it was satire when I first saw it.
Yeah, parents are okay. I'll go ahead and read this, and this is from BleacherReport.com. As Fortnite Battle Royale continues to dominate the world of video games, parents are starting to invest in coaches in the same way they would for sports or academics. On Tuesday, Sarah E. Needleman of the Wall Street Journal reported Parents are throwing down between $10 and $20 per hour so their kids can level up and become better Fortnite players. There's pressure not just to play it, but to be really good at it, quotes Allie Hicks, who purchased 4 hours of lessons for her 10-year-old son. You can imagine what that was like for him at school. So this kid at school is like, oh, I suck at Fortnite, so the kids were like hating on me. Well, maybe fucking just kick them in the nuts and be like, this is real life, bitch. I mean, you would probably like rule your whole class for the rest of the year.
Or
stop being a little bitch and stop taking Fortnite lessons and just beat the ass of the Fortnite players and grow the fuck up. You could be the bully in this situation, but you got your parents paying $10 an hour so that you can be the nerdiest kid on the fucking block. What the fuck?
Oh my god. Inflation's already a thing. What the fuck are we doing?
Look, I've always been a proponent that, there's been this big movement against hashtag stop bullying and all that stuff. But without bullies, you don't grow strong. You can't become stronger if you don't have adversity. If everything is nice and pretty and sunshine and rainbows, you can't ever figure out, life isn't fucking beautiful. It's a fucking bitch.
Did you hear that Activision Blizzard? Do you hear that Jeff Kaplan and the team?
Yeah, you can't. I don't know what he's referring to. I don't play Overwatch yet. Maybe that's something else I need to get into that I don't have time for.
I think it's something about bullying on Overwatch or some shit.
Oh yeah.
Like that.
Oh god.
Well, bullying is required. You can't grow strong without adversity. You can't. If everything is easy for you, you're gonna get destroyed.
Yeah,
at some point.
If everything
has been handed, you might have these billions, but eventually you'll fucking waste it and throw it away. Unless you just like, Bill Gates' son or something, and you just got too much to lose. And then at which point the government bails you out, and it's all fine anyway.
Yeah. The richer you are, the richer you stay. Yeah.
You're not gonna go bankrupt.
At some point, you just have to learn that pieces of shit exist in the world.
Well, they gotta learn that when they get older and get pushed off into the real world, whether they go to college or not, it doesn't matter if you go to college or not. The world's gonna hit you as hard as it wants to, the same. It's not going to give a shit if you're in college or you're in you go straight from work. It's going to be like, nah, you go learn how it is and wham, hits you right in the face. Don't give a damn.
The goal isn't to get to college and make the most money you can. The goal is to find a job you want to do.
Yeah.
If you can't find something you enjoy, then you're in the wrong thing. If you can't enjoy what you're doing, you might as well just give up because you're wasting precious hours of your life because you can't get any of the shit back. Mm-hmm. If you're not enjoying what you're doing at any point, give up. Just find something else.
Yeah, find something else.
I mean, work. We're in a country right now, and you can talk about unemployment all you want. You can talk about everything, but if you want to find a job, you can find a job. And even if you don't want to find a job, you can still survive. There's places where if you're not doing something, you die.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not making money, you die. There's no other alternative. There's no just survival. So right now, we're in a place where if you're not making money, the government pays you fucking money. So, fuck everything else. Pull your bootstraps up, tighten that shit. Pull the laces together, go out there, get a job, and have fun. And if it's not the job you want, don't necessarily quit, but do what you got to do. Find yourself, move up, move forward, find something that you want to do, and be happy because you got more opportunities here than anywhere else.
And most importantly, get good at Fortnite on your own.
Yeah.
Right.
Play the game.
If you can't get good on your own, then just stop playing.
No. You don't have to stop playing. because I'm not good at Fortnite.
No,
I'm
it's
terrible
like,
at Fortnite, but I still enjoy Fortnite.
For these kids who think they have to be good at Fortnite,
they don't have to be good.
Blah blah blah.
You just have to
they
have
don't
fun.
have to be good. We know they don't have to be good, but they don't. But what the parents need to teach them is fuck what everybody else thinks. Be your own leader. Don't follow the sheep way. Sheep.
Wait.
Don't be a sheep in society.
No, be a sheep. Sheeps are cool. Sheeps are funny.
And be your own person.
And
if somebody comes up and like, "Oh, you're
delicious.
not good at Fortnite,"
and they're handsome.
They are good.
And look, if Christ was the Lamb of God.
Fuck that. I won't talk about that fake ass shit.
Okay.
If someone
if we're going that route, I can use that metaphor. I can be like, lambs are holy.
No. If you teach these kids where they come up and it's like, "Oh, you're not good at Fortnite," teach them to look at it and be like, "I don't even play that crap." Like, who gives a shit? Teach them it's not. Quit. God damn, quit teaching them.
If your kid's not good at Fortnite, then maybe they're probably better at being real.
Exactly.
Like humans.
Exactly.
You don't have to be good at Fortnite. It's like, if I were to spend money to get my child better at something, it would be like, I don't know, piano or soccer or baseball or fucking, I don't know. I'd rather give my child like heavy metal lessons than fucking Fortnite lessons. I'd rather my child be learning how to play Megadeth than Fortnite.
Yeah. Like,
I mean, you can learn how to play video games on your own. You don't need a coach. But at the same aspect, I gotta compliment these assholes who are good enough at Fortnite who are being like, I can teach your kid how to like get their KD ratio up like 5%. Your kid will get 10% more kills if I coach him.
Like, I feel like
those guys are making money, and it's the same guys that were like, "Oh, I can have your kid play guitar even better than he was a shitty guitar player before." Because if you don't want to do something, you're not going to do something.
Yeah, I feel like it's more of an issue of like kids not wanting to play it, but having to play it just in general. Not even if they're really good at it. I feel like kids are being pressured to play it to fit in, just in general.
Yeah,
and that's probably where a lot of this comes in.
Fuck you, Fortnite. That's what I say.
Yeah,
you're ruining our children. You're ruining our children.
It's really a cultural phenomenon. Like, I think the last game that was this big that affected society this much was like GTA or something. I've never seen it on a level like this though.
Nobody was ever hiring GTA coaches,
No one was ever encouraging like getting good at games. I don't think.
Well, especially like in the back when Call of Duty was like the shooter game or whatever, you didn't have this problem. Yeah, you didn't have this problem. A lot of it had to do with back then was, online wasn't as big as it was for one. Two, the streaming services weren't as big as they are now. So there wasn't all this pressure to be the fucking best. You just play with your friends and talk shit.
Yeah.
But now it's like you got all this stuff that gives them access to it. It's like, how about we just make it to where kids of a certain age can't fucking play video games to begin with? I get tired. I don't like playing with them anyway. So
how would that work exactly?
I'll just make it to where like if I want a game and I hear fucking talking like a kid, you report them. They get reported enough, they get banned. They can't play anymore.
What if that guy has Andy Milonakis disease?
Well, that's. I'm sorry for him. If he can prove that,
what if that's Tourette's?
Yeah, I'm down for that. That'd be funny. I would laugh.
What if that's Tourette's and it wasn't their fault? I did have this one kid, like literally the one thing that's about turned me off GTA the quickest was that I had this one kid that was like the most foul-mouthed kid I've ever encountered.
He's probably like 9.
It was like, God damn it, this fucking go fucking shit, man.
That's why
I was like, oh my God, And this one guy was sitting there the whole time trying to calm down, kid, calm down, just calm down, bruh. And then he's like, calm down, kid. And I'm having to hear this back and forth. That's my one caveat of why I don't like GTA Online is that you have to listen to all these other assholes. You can, I guess, change servers or whatever, but
no, you can auto mute where it mutes everybody in the room when you first join.
Oh, okay. I didn't know those were options. You know,
yeah,
I'm new to the whole GTA world, but oh my god, little fucking kids just yelling all the time. That
or you could go.
You leave me the fucking alone.
Well, you know, since like you know,
killing my ears.
Since if you know who is doing it, you can go to the online list to see who's all in the lobby with you, and you can just mute them separately if you wanted to.
Yeah.
That's another weird thing about like Conan and Ark, those survival games. Most of them, from what I can see, you can go into the world chat where everybody can hear each other, but you can only hear the person close to you. Like if someone's in your vicinity and around your area, you can hear them talking. But once they get to a certain distance, you can't hear shit.
Damn. Well, I mean, to a degree, that's similar with GTA, but I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just whenever somebody's even within the same game system as you with the GTA, it's like you can hear everything they say.
Man. It's
yeah,
the fucking
kids.
kids that ruin all games like this. That you get on there and all they're doing is just mouthing off, and cussing up a storm. It's like, dude,
there needs to be a quick way to just be like, you're done. Get out of here. Delete.
Yeah, like well, see,
delete. Delete.
I know if they would have it a lot more of these online games would have what Counter-Strike does, where you can vote to kick a motherfucker. That would be nice.
Yeah. Like
majority
a voting
of the
system, like democracy.
Yeah,
I mean, that's like America. That's how it works, right? Or how it's supposed to work until
like
computers got involved.
On Counter-Strike, like you would vote if you wanted someone out, and you'd vote, and it'd say it right there on the bottom screen: one vote to kick. It wouldn't say who did it, but it would say one vote to kick this, and everybody else, if the majority voted, that person gone.
Boom. I don't know you used to play Counter-Strike.
I played it a long time ago. I haven't played it in forever. First time I ever played it that's when I learned about the vote to kick, because they voted to kick me because I didn't know what I was doing. But I seen it down in the corner saying vote to kick me, and I was like, oh shit. And then I just see boop, and the next thing I know, I was out of the hobby. But that was
like the most
try-hardiest
game.
Yeah, people are ridiculous on yeah. You ever watch those videos of people getting caught cheating on that shit? Oh, those are funny. They're live streaming, but then blatantly get caught cheating. That shit is fucking great.
God damn, I bet. I've seen a bunch of games where hackers get caught, like in Battlefield.
Yeah, shit is funny as
fuck. Those videos are the worst.
Those are the funniest.
And like they rage quit, and I'm like, oh my god, you knew it. You knew you did this.
Exactly, like why rage quit?
Yeah, like that's the last one I seen was this girl. She was playing Counter-Strike, and like right at the beginning of her stream, she pulls up this box thing. The game's running, and she pulls up this deal, and she starts clicking on shit, and she minimizes it, and she starts playing or whatever, and like all of a sudden, middle of the match, she gets off. She starts screaming some random chick's name. I let her use my computer earlier. She put this shit on there. Like, bitch, you just pulled it up and started clicking on shit. Like, so you knew it was running.
Busted. Man, I bet the chat went fucking nuts.
Yeah, she got off after that. Like, she was.
Oh man, that's embarrassing. Dumbass.
Yeah.
Funny shit. Anywho, has anyone else got any news?
The only thing I've got is that somehow, some way, let me try to figure out if I can pull up the article on this. I probably need to leave this whole thing alone, but somehow, some way, somebody fit a bootable CD and game into a tweet. Has anybody heard anything about this?
No.
Huh. Like
they fit a whole game. a game. They put the code for a game into what 244 characters or something like that. They coded an entire bootable CD into the amount of characters it takes to arrange a tweet. It's
That's impressive.
A little bit like
some smart motherfuckers out there, dude.
Yeah, it's a little bit like that worm game where you eat the number and you get bigger and
Snake.
you can't run into your tail. Yeah,
Snake.
It's a little bit like that and some other game. But this guy coded the entire game in a tweet. You can copy and paste it, and you can boot it, and you can burn it onto a CD, and you can play the game.
Let me see if I can find this shit. That is really impressive.
It's
I'm just
amazing.
Gonna type in guy codes game in tweet.
Yeah, it'll pop up. This is one of the biggest pieces of news I've had. I've been saving this all fucking week.
Okay, the top thing that came up for guy codes game and tweet is Guy Fieri, Drake. You have to send me that. It'll probably be a little difficult for me to find.
Hold on, it won't take long.
I got one out of the
Bootable. Search bootable. Bootable game tweet. Yeah, bootable. Bootable. Oh, you said bootable. Oh, babe, dude. Did you know you're bootable?
Dude, I appreciate that. Really nice of you.
You're so bootable.
One thing I did see today, one story I thought was interesting. Nintendo's profit is way up, but investors are still wary. This article is on CNN Tech. Sharice Pham writes, the Japanese gaming company said following the market close in Tokyo that it made an operating profit of 30 billion yen, $274 million during the most recent quarter. Despite the earnings report, the stock dropped as much as 3.5% in the early trade Tuesday following reports that a U.S. hedge fund was betting against the company. So basically, there's this company, they're short nearly 1.2 million shares. They gave up 0.8% of the company's outstanding stock, and they have roughly $400 million betting against Nintendo, basically.
Damn.
Their stock is down more than 25% from its peak from this March.
I want to know who this company is because I want them to die.
Let's see, the company. It's right here, actually.
Just on principle. Just principle.
Company is. I just saw it too. Melvin's Capital.
Yeah, fucking figure something I never heard of.
Okay, back to the one thing we were talking about. This coder fit a bootable CD and video game into a tweet. How to write a video game in 277 characters. All right, a few weeks ago, Alok Mingrahayani, I don't know, a security engineer at Square set out a challenge to himself. He wanted to fit a bootable CD-ROM and a retro video game inside it into a tweet. So within 280 characters, he crafted code that created a CD-ROM disk image that can be booted up in a virtual machine or burned to a physical disk. So that means you can either boot it up within a computer, a virtual machine, or you can burn it to a disk and play it on any computer in the world. So he fit it within 244 characters. This is quote unquote, it's pure hacker spirit. He said, you just write the code and see what it does. And this is what's called code. Well, it's what's called code golfing. It's basically somebody tries to write the most complex code that they can in the shortest way possible. Basically trying to condense code down to basically like if you think of like zip files or rare files or any type of compression technology. Yeah. It's basically the same thing, thinking of a way to make these symbols become something bigger so that they expand upon reading or upon
unzipping them.
Yeah,
as soon as you unzip,
exactly,
or downloading them. Yeah,
it's like you know that like inside the zipper is a whole bunch of different things, but you don't know what it is until you unzip it.
Yeah,
man, I'm like touching like godlike levels of computing brilliancy here.
I feel like that needs to be taught in coding.
How you want to approach these things? What?
I feel like just what you just said, like compressing and optimizing your code so well. I feel like that needs to be taught these days. I don't feel like it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
I feel like it would help developers program games. I feel like high-end looking games would be able to run on mid-grade machines a lot easier if coding was just more optimized in general. I feel like people are getting, because, well, I read something last year, the big computer coding fella, just take my word for it, getting worried about instances where that is involved, lazy coding, because that can lead to some, like, catastrophic shit, like, later on in the future. Mm-hmm. So that's very impressive. I'd like to know how he did it, honestly. I understand I have absolute minimal knowledge of coding. I'd still like to learn enough to at least see how he did it.
You're a coding genius. You know how to make all this shit happen.
Oh, fuck that. I wish, dude. That's something I wish I could do, honestly. That's where the money's at.
All you have to do is dedicate yourself and your time.
Dude.
Half of your No Man's Sky time into coding time.
That's like half a day.
In a month. Yeah, you'd be a genius in a month.
Sticking a candle in there, making me happy. Yeah, I've been through some tutorials. I feel like it would be a cool trade, though. That's where the money's at. That's where the jobs are. So kids, learn to code.
It's coding is where anything is going to be in the next 20 years. If you don't know how to code, you're fucking out of there.
Yeah.
It's going to be like, oh, you have really good people skills. You're a really good person. You have all the qualifications. Do you know how to code? No. I'm sorry, sir. You're going to have to exit the building.
That's scary. Son of a bitch, that's scary.
Do you know how to code? Can you code?
I can make hello world.
You're fired. Welcome to McDonald's, sir. How can I take your order? Would that be a Big Mac or a Whopper? You say Whopper, you're fired.
Oh, you want to work at McDonald's? Do you know Java?
That's what you're going to be doing if you don't know how to code, bro.
You're right, though. No, that's a big shot of reality at you.
Might want to learn about them computers. Them pooters, bro.
Zeros and ones. Them bits and them bytes. This has been the future. Episode 7 of Super MetaBros Podcast Royale. We were programmed to give you this entertainment, and you are now pleased, and you may go take a nap or do as you wish.
You talking like that reminds me of a video I just watched on YouTube last night. It was so fucked up. It was like it's set in the future, and this guy from the past takes the time and she's like, "How y'all doing?" And it's about PC and all that, all those different genders and all that. And he's like, the guy. Everybody got no names anymore. Everybody's named number 1. Nobody hurts each other's feelings. A guy has to basically, you can't backtalk a female. All that. They make fun of all the points that all this crazy stuff that's going on in the world. With this like hardcore feminist and blah blah blah, things like that. And he's like, you know what? I'm just gonna go. And he goes to leave. He's like, I'm from 2018, and they go and he's like, because all he did was ask for the time, and it was like offensive. And they go back and they mention they say something. And he's like, here in 2019. Like it's only supposed to be like a year later. You have to watch the video because the shit was so.
Oh, one thing I wanted to point out before we end is there's a new TV show on Hulu, Castlerock. It's fucking
waiting
dope.
on all the episodes.
Anybody that likes Stephen King, here's my thing about Castlerock. Stephen King went online and was like, stop looking for all the Easter eggs, just worry about the story. I'm like, but how are you, Stephen King, who became probably the first extended universe writer? You know, everybody talks about Marvel, but the real first extended universe might be Stephen King.
Oh yeah, it's out there, dude.
Because like, Castle Rock, Derry, everything in fucking Maine is all Stephen King owns Maine. Like that's his. Anything in Maine, it's got something to do with Stephen King. So Castle Rock has so many Easter eggs involved that Stephen King was like, look, guys, stop looking for the Easter eggs and just enjoy the narrative for what it is. Just enjoy the story. And I tried that. But I can't. Because I've read so many Stephen King books. Look, there's so many references like thrown in. They throw Cujo references. Look, Shawshank is a main focal point of the whole fucking show.
Yeah.
How are you supposed to ignore the Easter eggs when the whole fucking show is an Easter egg?
It's so ingrained into the story. Yeah.
Like, they throw Cujo in there. The main bad guy is the guy who plays Pennywise in the new It movie.
You shouldn't tell people to not enjoy the Easter eggs. You can enjoy both the story and the Easter eggs.
That's the problem I have is that Stephen King said stop worrying about the Easter eggs and just enjoy the narrative.
Yeah.
But you can't do that when the whole narrative is Easter eggs. Like, the whole narrative is like, how can I contribute my experience in my life from reading Stephen King books? I might not have read them all. I might not have read the books that have to do with Castle Rock. I might have read the books that have to do with Derry and the Dark Tower and all this shit. But I've never read a single book from Castle Rock.
But is it done in a way?
Include these they throw so many Easter eggs in this show that it's impossible to ignore. Because, I mean, like, literally, there's references to Cujo. There's references to Pet Cemetery. There's references to every single thing that anybody might want to make a reference to. But you're supposed to ignore it because Stephen King wants you to... Everything.
Because his Dreamcatcher was one of his, more popular ones as well.
The main thing is, did Dreamcatcher take place in Maine? If it did, then I can include it. If it didn't, then probably not.
I don't know if most of the movie took place in Maine, but I know
that's the main thing. It has to take place in Maine because Castle Rock is in Maine.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the main recurring theme with Stephen King stuff is Maine.
I guess my question would be, it's not just fan servicey then, is what you're saying. Are these Easter eggs actually important?
Well, I think that they're not, but they are. Because Stephen King wants them to be, but maybe production and Hollywood doesn't.
Not yet.
So maybe Stephen King wants everything to connect, but Hollywood's like, why? Do they have to? Maybe this thing one connects to this, and this connects to that, and whatever.
Yeah.
Speaking of these new series or whatnot, I've seen, I can't remember what they were called, but I've seen 2 trailers for 2 different animes that are only going to be on Netflix, and they both look really fucking good.
What are they?
Yeah, they're the Netflix, because Netflix does some original animes as well.
Yeah, Castlevania.
Well, they got Castlevania. They have what is that one that I see every time I get on there? I see it. They do the Godzilla one now. But they also do this other one that's Seven Deadly Sins is is one of their originals.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But there's two new ones, like brand new ones, completely original that are just coming out soon that are coming to Netflix, and they're only on Netflix. And I watched the trailers and they look really good. I don't remember the names of them yet right now, but they do look good.
I have to check them out. I'm on an anime kick lately.
And Netflix, that Seven Deadly Sins isn't bad if you actually watch it.
I want to watch it. There's just so many anime that I want to watch first. I want to try out One Piece. I want to finish Yu Hakusho someday. I'll check it out though. It's on Netflix, so I'll make time to watch. I'll give it 3 episodes. That's my rule.
Yeah, I know a lot of people that like that Seven Deadly Sins. I haven't watched it in a while. I watched like the first 2 episodes, but I haven't watched it in a while.
The manga author says that it's ending this very soon. I think within the next year. Just read that today. So a lot of people are upset about that. I noticed. Yeah. I suppose that is the way things must go. Things must end.
Alrighty.
Even life itself. Even this show.
Yeah. Going to end the show around this time, but I'm getting off.
I'm trying to figure out how to end the show, though. Should we go out with a bang, or should it just fizzle down and just kind of get awkward, and then you just kind of click stop? Or
I mean, I could teach them about the Dutch rudder.
do you want to do a musical number?
No, not really. I mean, we can do at the end of every show.
You're muted, man.
Sorry, guys. I had to run to the bathroom real quick.
Oh, man, yeah.
At the end of every show, I can tell people how to do a crazy sexual position.
Yeah, let's go for it.
No.
No, we're trying to figure out ways to end the show. I feel like we should go out with a bang. Like one of us should just do something crazy, or we could just like sort of sing a little medley until the camera goes off.
No. Nope.
Right.
Nope.
Either way, it wasn't the worst. It wasn't the best. It was a podcast. That happened.
This is what you're getting.